Good morning, good morning. This your boy Lamond, the real estate wholesaler, contractor, all things real estate. Um, and I came on today to really talk about how to schedule rehab projects and things like that, how to understand how to schedule your jobs, the right way to schedule your jobs, and the right way to do your jobs in the right order. So this is an actual job we doing. This is an actual project. So this is the actual bid. And if y'all bids is not 6 to 12 pages long, y'all not doing no rehab projects. Y'all doing handyman work. So we're going to start with this, an actual house, an actual project that we're starting soon. Actually, we're going to be starting this project within the next 2 weeks. So when we start our projects, we always look at before closing. So the job setup, these are the things we do before we close a property, before we start our project. We want to go see the job again. Make sure the house is in the same condition that the house was in when you first put the original bids or original scope of work in. Not only you want to do that to help you out, but you also want to protect your investor, protect your client, so go look at the house again, make sure the house in the same condition, make sure ain't no squatters and broke in the house or anything changed. So after you do that, you have closing. Normally, after closing, you really want to, during this phase, is like your planning phase. So I'm going to say, so before your demo and really after closing, you have your planning phase. Now, in your planning phase, you guys may want to get a pencil and sheet of paper, write this stuff down. But in your planning phase, now you're planning your utilities, you planning your material actually coming to the project. You're going over your final stages of the project. And this phase really starts from when you first see the house. But after you close, you get to do certain things. You get to pull your permits and things like that. So you have your planning phase. Then you have your demo phase. So you got planning, then you got demo. Now, this is the trick to successfully organizing your jobs. Once you got your start, you got to find your end. So this job is around a $40,000 rehab, and it's around a $44,000 rehab, and we do and how we come up with the end date would be a good job is you do $1,000 a day. So if it's a $44,000 rehab, you need to put in 44 days of what it should take you to get the house done. So let's go from here. From the demo phase, not from the closing. Always remember from your first day of demo, you got 44 days. So we got 5, 6, 38. So what's that? 38. The first, the second, third, fourth, fifth. So basically we have till, I'm just going to write everything on the board. So we got Monday would be the 3rd, the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and we're gonna this whole week 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. I think that might got 31 days, I'm not mistaken. So, if you like content like this, would you please like and subscribe? But this is how you start really planning your jobs and organizing your jobs. I've been doing this since 2008, so I done planned thousands of jobs by now. So please take in mind the setup and that it works. So, and this is how you can give your customers an expected completion date based on an actual number, based on an actual data. So with my company, we doing roughly around $1,000 a day KPI. So a $44,000 job, we're looking at, what's that? 10, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. So we're looking to be finished basically by the 10th. So now, by the 10th, we should be ordering our inspection. So we already know inspection. By the 10th, we really should be having our inspections pretty much being able to be ordered. So before, and then you work your way backwards. So our goal will always be to have the inspection on the 10th. Now, what I normally do is I give myself the first number. So say that if it's a $44,000 rehab, which should be done with 44 days, I give myself an extra 4 days. So this is my 4-day inspection list, or we'll say inspection week. So what I mean by this is, even though we're going to order our inspections way up here during this week, the inspector may come out, hope and pray they don't find nothing. But if they do, we have time to do it. We have time to reclean the property. We have time to get everything in order before the project get done. Now, this will be the date that you tell your clients. Even though you want to be done closer to this date or around 40, you really want to be done within 40 days of a project like this. But, you will always tell your client, you always give yourself that extra cushion. So, you have that week for your inspections. Now you work your way backwards. So you know that you got no later than on that Friday, you want to have your cleaning. Your cleaning should be done. So now they got the whole weekend. And this is an actual project, and this is how I'm scheduling my project. So this is an actual project. So I know that week I got my cleaning. Now after the demo, so this project, the demo really should take me roughly around maybe 3 days. So all of this is demo. Now the following week is this week. This week should mainly be focused on your mechanicals. So we'll say your HVAC, your plumbing, and your electric. So this week right here really is your mechanical week. This week right here, you focusing on your plumbing, your electric, your HVAC, maybe even some framing, but you want to get these things in ASAP. You know, you want to get all your, and this your rough. So we're going to say rough. You know, that is your rough electric, your rough plumbing, your rough HVAC. You know, that's not your finishes. Remember that. We don't put, you know, of course it's not your finishes. So now that's your rough plumbing. So now, after you have all of that stuff done, even with this and everybody being started, you have some things that you can overlap. So things that I overlap during this phase at this particular project will be framing. So I'm going to put framing in right here. So now my framing should be done by this day. By that Monday, with this type of project and this project, by that Monday, all my framing really should be done. So now this how I can check, or this how you can check the progress of your jobs, because you know by the 3rd, you should have all your rough in plumbing, electric, and HVAC done, and you should have your house framed up. The reason why it would never take no more, all of these should be is 1 or 2 day jobs. So if you know what you're doing, if you schedule your plumber, electric, and HVAC, they could normally, all 3 of them could come in within the same week. This is really good because certain times when you run an electric hot water tank, you may need the electrician to run your wire. You know, you may need the electrician to run you a disconnect box. So at least out of one of these days, try to have all 3 of those contractors be in the property at the same time. With this tip right here, that will keep so much confusion down. You know, with the framing guy, and now, because when the framing go in, we have to put electric wires in this wall. We have to put outlets in that wall. So it makes no sense to have the framing, all the electric done, and then we put the wall up later on. You know, no, we want to have the electrician there once we finishing the framing. So hopefully the framing could really start like on a Wednesday, and because it only will take us a half a day. So the last day of the electrician, we didn't already communicated with him, but by the last day of the electrician, we want to make sure that that wall is up so the electrician could put his outlets in. Now, with me, after I get done with, at this project right here, after we get done with all the framing, you know, anything to frame the ceilings, frame the walls, any type of the wood type framing, at this point our bathtubs is in, our mixing valves is in, you know, our outlets is in, you know, our lights not up because we still have to paint the ceiling. So we always install our lights, outlet covers, switch covers, things like that towards the finishes. So after your framing come in, now you really want to work on the drywall. This house right here, mud, tape, and drywall, it'll probably be a week. So we're gonna say, I'm sorry, yeah, mud, tape, and drywall, this house probably about a week. So we got our drywall. It'll probably be done by Thursday. That's a realistic goal for the amount of drywalling we have to do in this property. Now, this where, mind you, we started with the demo. So our bathroom and our kitchens is already completely demoed. So now all our mechanical stuff is done at this property. All that type of stuff is done at this property. So now we got drywalling. Remember, this house has a basement. So if you like content like this and you're getting a lot of knowledge, a lot of gain from this, will you please like, subscribe, and share? You know, because I'm going somewhere with this. I'm teaching you guys something, you know. Now remember, the drywall is only on the first floor. This house got what? A basement. So now we got all the mechanicals in. We don't have no reason for nobody to go back down to the basement. So now what I do on projects like this, I work my way from the bottom up. So now after we get done with the framing and all that type of stuff, now we want to do the basement, dry lock, and clean up. And paint. So after we get done with all the framing, all the sawdust off the house, you know, we got the drywall going on upstairs, but because this house has a basement, it makes no sense for us not to be working down there. So what we would be doing at that time is we will be putting the dry lock in the basement. We got plumbing now. So now we can power wash the basement, get everything nice and clean. You know, we can spray the basement ceilings because the electrician already ran out of wires he needs to run. So now we can spray the basement ceilings. I like to spray my basement ceilings black, but everybody have a different preference. But now we can spray the basement ceilings. You know, we can dry lock the basement. You know, we have no reason to go back down in this basement. So we can paint the basement floors gray. You know, we can push everything along. We have no reason to go back down to this basement. So by this Monday, the basement is done. Done. So by this Monday, the basement should be done, all the drywall up. It had all these days to dry. You know, we'll come back maybe Sunday or Saturday to sand everything. But now we ready to prime and paint. We ready to prime and paint. Now, this particular house, I would say to prime and paint and do everything the way it needs to be done, is probably a 3 to 4 day job. So all of this we priming and painting. You know, all of that time we priming and painting. You know, with this house or any houses like this, you know, we priming and we painting. Now I will say, I should have wrote down that when we drywall, we do prep paint. You know, drywalling, mudding, all of that. We also do our prep painting at this phase because we already playing with mud, we already playing with plaster, we already playing with pieces of drywall. I never want to go backwards. You know, when you're in these projects and you working on these houses and things like that, you never want to go backwards. So, and when I mean by that, I mean like the material. The mud is out. The plaster is out. It should stay out until all of it's done. It shouldn't be, okay, well, we did all the drywall, now we got to come back in and prep paint. No. When they doing the drywall and they mud and everything, they need to go around the house, you know, caulk everything that need to be caulked. They need to be patching all the holes, need to be patched up. You know, so when we prime, we just come in, and this me, what I do is I spray my ceilings white. You know, I spray my ceilings white, and I really use that same primer paint white that's mixed together, a flat though, for my primer also. You know, it already have a primer built into it. You know, it's a little more expensive, but it saved me a lot of time because what I do is I spray the whole house. So we come in and we should be able to have the whole house sprayed and primed within a day. You know, but we also sprayed the closets and we sprayed the ceilings. The closets and the ceilings, we're keeping that same flat white. There's no reason to touch that again. And then we just using our smooth stone, dapper tan, you know, earth tone grays. You know, we painting the house for these 3 days. Sorry, something flew in my eye. So now we painting the house. Now, by this weekend, the house is already painted. Okay. Now you asking, when do we put our cabinets in? Really, you should be able to install your cabinets and your kitchen within 1 day. So what I like to do, and this is my thing, I like to start as soon as I get done with the painting, start my flooring. The flooring for that property, we are running LVP through the kitchens and the kitchens and the bathrooms. So I would like to start my flooring. I would catch my pattern, but try to start your flooring in your kitchen. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because to do the whole flooring, the flooring and the baseboards, realistically with my guys right now, that's probably they're gonna take me about 4 days. You know, do all my flooring, my baseboards, that's gonna take me about 4 days. So all of this is flooring, really that whole week. But if you do it right and your guys understand your process, which you have to communicate, let them know your process, get to understand it. We start the kitchen, so now this day we can do kitchen cabinets. So this day, we really should be able to do our kitchen cabinets. You know, our kitchen cabinets should only be a 1 day job. You know, that should only really be a 1 day job. And the next day, we should be able to do, because this house is getting a lot of ceramic. You know, this house is getting a lot of ceramic. So the next day, we really start the bathroom. When we start the flooring, we'll really start the bath. That looks too messy. Because this is my actual board that I'm going to use for this project. So it's going to be the bathroom walls. When we start the flooring, we will also start the bathroom tile walls. You know, reason being, that mortar and stuff going to make a mess, or it's going to be a little dusty. I like to close off my bathroom and allow them to contain the dust in one area. You know, not have it all on the floor, things like that. So we will start the bathroom tile wall right when they start in the kitchen flooring. The reason why this worked out good for me, because once he get done with that, once he get done doing the bathroom, now he should be doing a backsplash in the kitchen. Backsplash in the kitchen. Now he should be doing the backsplash in the kitchen because he did the bathroom walls. So he might have did it 1 day, let it dry, grab it the next day. The next day he come in. The cabinets already been in. Remind you, the cabinets got put in the day before, you know, So the floor got put in first. The cabinets got put in the day before. Now he come in and he get to be able to do the backsplash of the backsplash of the wall. So now after we get done, when he doing this, hopefully this person that put the cabinets in, they doing your bathroom vanities and things like that, Now at this point of time, now we got the whole house painted. So let's start over. Let's see where we at. We set the job up. We had our closing. We did our planning. We did great planning. We did our demo, which took us 3 days to demo everything, get everything cleaned out. Now we got a whole week for our rough mechanicals and our framing. After we got done with our rough mechanicals and our framing, we went to drywalling, paint prep, dry locking the basement, clean up the basement, paint the basement. We got no reason to go back down here to prime the whole house and paint the whole house. Now we got our floors in. We got our bathroom wall tiles done. We got our floors in. We got our kitchen cabinets, in. The person who did the bathroom wall, he come back to the kitchen backsplash. After he got everything ground up, come to the kitchen backsplash. Person who did the kitchen cabinets, come in, set the vanities. Now, during this week, you have all your finishes. So like things like your and your flooring, that's also your trim. So when I'm saying flooring, I should put trim too. Flooring and so now you got your flooring done, you got your trim down. With new trim, I recommend paint your trim before you put it down. You could paint it before you cut it. It's a lot easier to caulk it and just do some touch-up paintings. But spray your trim before you put the trim down. It just, to me, it makes sense. At least make sure you, paint the trim before you put it down. It make too much sense. So now we got the bathroom vanity. Because now, mind you, the floor is done, the bathtub done. Now we got the plumbers coming back in. Our cabinet set. Now we got the plumbers coming back in. So on this week, you got basically the finishes. For mechanicals. So during this week, you will have all your finishes for your mechanicals. So what is your mechanical finishes? That is the floor on now. So that's your duct return. That's your duct returns. Your air duct vents. That's your light covers. Your actual light fixtures, your plumbing connections, your faucets, that's your covers that go over everything. That's your GFIs in the kitchen. At this point, this is all your finished mechanicals. Also, at this point, this is when you're doing all your handyman stuff. So when I say handyman stuff, I mean like your repairs. So doorknobs, smoke detectors, doorknobs, smoke detectors. This is the time that you do your things like exterior repairs. This is the time that you would do your things like fixing certain, certain repairs. You know, the handyman type stuff, putting your CO2 detectors on. You know, this person is your VIP. Because it may be some things where your electrician might have missed the outlet. You know, this person needs to do it. You know, it may be some things where, you know, your HVAC guy didn't put the vents in. This person needs to do it. You know, this person should have the skills to hang your blinds. You know, if a window break, he should have the skills to fix that type of stuff. You know, this is, you know, he the one who doing your inspection list if you do have an inspection list. You know, this person, the person who kind of help push the job along throughout the whole job, because he's still gonna come in every week and do a day worth of handyman stuff. You know, so it's not just gonna add up on him. You know, it's still gonna have, in our houses, you're gonna have those little things that just need to be done every day. You know, so with this handyman person, he gonna be there every single week. You know, at least for one day until it's his turn. You know, at least for one day until it's his turn. Now, when it's his turn, he got the whole house to himself for this whole week. He got the whole house for himself for basically like a week. Now, every schedule will be a little different. Everything will be a little more compact. But this is an example of what it really should look like. Now, this is the interior list. It would be the same thing for the exterior side also. But we can work both at the same time. You know, like this house need exterior painting. So technically, once my painter get done on the inside, they gonna find the best days to do things on the outside. That's the reason why I schedule the inside stuff like this. And then that type of house, I have to worry about the weather and be able to transform certain people to do certain things if the weather's committing. That's the reason why the handyman may come around every week, depending on the weather, because they may be doing some outside repairs, you know, things like that. So after you get the handyman there for a week, you get your cleaners in for one day. You know, hopefully the inspection will be Monday. But if your handyman did good, he already know what the inspector gonna look at. We should pass the inspection. If not, we will automatically try to reorder the inspection for Friday if it's just regular things, or before that Friday, and then have the handyman a whole nother week or so to do that, you know. So this is just a brief breakdown, a brief description on how to plan your projects. You know, like I said, this is an actual project that I'm actually doing, and this is how I'm planning this project, you know. So I always start from closing to cleaning, and then we put everything in the middle. So this your boy Lamont, the real estate investor, contractor, all things real estate. If you like content like this, if you like actually learning things like this, will you please just like and subscribe, you know, and we'll get back with you on some other things like this. Now, if you want a good contractor, if you're seeking a good contractor, if you're want to be an investor and want to understand contracting, and if you're a contractor and really want to understand investing, please inbox me, reach out to me. I'm here to serve you guys. You know, there's not no paid stuff. You know, I'm just really here to serve you guys. So thank you so much for your time. Please like and subscribe.